Sunday morning. It's the 26th of July and here we are at Caldon. It's quite a pleasant morning. There's not much wind. There's a bit of blue sky, quite a bit of cloud, but I think the forecast is reasonably fair. So we're going to head off now towards Froghall. We've got a couple of locks. We want to stop for water, and it'll be hopefully a leisurely morning. We'll get to Froghall probably about lunchtime. I've checked the size of the boat and I don't think we're going to be able to get through the tunnel because there's quite a low headroom, and I've measured our boat and I don't think we're within the limits, so I think we're probably going to have to stop before the tunnel, but that's not a major problem. There's only about a quarter of a mile of canal beyond the tunnel before it comes to an end, so that shouldn't probably give us too much concern. I don't know what's happening on the railway. I've seen a little bit of steam rising, but it seems to have stopped now. I think one of the engines is just in light steam at the minute. Whether it's going to be running or not, I don't know. Anyway, we're going to set off. The water's crystal clear, but the problem is all this weed, so I reckon we're going to have the weed hatch up again before long. So we're just about ready to get started. Seems a shame to leave it here because it's so quiet and peaceful, but hey ho, we'll see what the morning brings. We've arrived at the point where the canal joins the river at this lock, Oak Meadowford Lock, and we're just going to go down now and see what the indicator's like, because we had quite a bit of rain last night, and not knowing this river very well, we don't know how it responds. So Sue says it's in the green, so we're alright. We'll just go and have a look anyway. There's the indicator. There's no amber, it's red or green, and luckily we're in green, so we're going to be down the river in a minute. I know one thing, the landscape here is absolutely beautiful, absolutely beautiful. We've just come through a wooded section and it's glorious. Yeah, so the river's on the right, the River Chernert coming in, and the canal is there. So we've got about a mile of river ahead of us, so let's get cracking. It looks like the sky's turning grey. It looks like we might be in for a shower.
on the video, isn't it? Taken.
Can't see it. For some reason, it's
Black. Yeah. You're not really, yeah.
thinking we're back on tomorrow. Oh, here's the view. With the speed on. We've just come through Console Forge lock, and on the lock there's a loading gauge. As you pass under it, it touches your boat if your boat's too big for the tunnel, and it touched ours, so that's confirmed now that we won't fit under the tunnel, which is quite useful to know because I don't want to get stuck in the middle of it. So on we go towards Froghall. This is the last leg of the journey towards Froghall. So this is the end of the road, Froghall. This is as far as we go. We've turned the boat. We can't go any further there because we're too big to go through the tunnel in terms of the height and the profile of the boat. Lengthwise we're alright, but if we attempt to go through the tunnel we're probably going to get wedged in because the roof is very low, and we've gone through the loading gauge and that's proved that we can't get through. So we've turned the boat now. We're facing back the way we came. We're going to have a bit of lunch. It's just after 1 o'clock, so we'll have an hour and a half here and then decide what we're going to do. number 17, and we've got a boat in front who's just gone in, so we've got a little while to wait as he's going up. Just emptying the lock, and we'll be going through any minute. That red and white striped curtain is the gauge for Froghall tunnel. If any part of that touches the top of your boat, you know you're not going to get through the tunnel. again for the evening, and unusually I'll brush my hair before I go on camera. because I noticed on previous occasions it did look terrible. That's because I've been wearing a hat, but I've took my hat off and I've brushed my hair, and we're back at Cheddleton. The railway's just over there. We've been to Froghall, and it's a nice piece of canal. The problem we've had really was weed round the prop, but once we got onto the river, the weed wasn't such an issue. The issue then was the narrowness and the windiness of the canal. Fortunately, there's not been a lot of boats on it, so we've not really hit any snags, but if we'd have had boats coming the other way in some places, it would have been a problem. Anyway, we've settled down. I've got my cup of tea. There's a little bit of shunting going across in the yard at Cheddleton. But I think they're more or less at the end of the day now. There's been one train go down and fetch some carriages back from Froghall, and it was interesting going under Console Station platform. And the Black Lion, that bridge was a bit a bit of a challenge, because you got two bridges there and you line up for one, but you're out of line then for the other. So it was a little bit interesting, that was. But anyway, we're going to settle down now, clean up, check the engine over, and bunker down for the night here at Cheddleton. I showed you cleaning the weed ash yesterday, and I thought I got a lot out then, but this is what I've got out tonight. Now we're having a little rain shower, but that's what's come out tonight, and that was round the prop shaft. It wasn't on the propeller as such, it was wrapped round the prop shaft, if you can imagine. It's gone round and round. So that's going in the edge bottom. It's just taken me about 5 minutes to wrestle that free from the prop shaft. Into the edge bottom.